Welcome. In our first video in microeconomics, we're going to be examining the concept of scarcity and looking at how economists define scarcity. I'm Martha Rush, and I teach AP Micro and Macroeconomics at Mounds View High School in Arden Hills, Minnesota. I love teaching econ because I think it gives you, the students, a new way to understand what's happening around you in the world. So welcome. In this first video, we're going to look at how economists define scarcity and why that might be a little bit different from the way you and your friends and other people you know use that word. If you're like most people, you might think scarcity means endangered species, like this orangutan swinging through the forest, or a virgin forest itself with trees that have never been chopped down. Or you might think of specific resources like oil and natural gas, or rare valuable items like gold or diamonds. Or you might think scarcity means shortages, like a grocery store running out of toilet paper, or a bakery running out of your favorite cinnamon rolls. You might even find it hard to conceive of scarcity at all if you're almost always able to find the things you want, even if you can't always afford them. Economists define scarcity a little differently and a little more precisely. To an economist, almost all productive resources are scarce by definition. Certain things, like this Einsteinian equation, are not scarce because they're part of shared public knowledge. But other resources, like land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship, are all scarce because they are finite, and we need them to produce the goods and services that we want. Our wants, on the other hand, are unlimited, which creates the fundamental economic problem. Here's an example. This is me teaching in my classroom at Mounds View High School. If I'm there teaching at Mounds View High School, I can't be here recording a video. I also can't be delivering packages for a company or working as a waitress. I can only do one thing with my time. Similarly, if you're watching this video right now, you can't be simultaneously watching another video or playing in a soccer game. During World War I and World War II, the US had to shift a lot of resources over to the war production. If you look at the poster on the left where it says you should save wheat and meat, among other things, that's because those resources were being shifted to the war effort. Similarly, the woman in this picture who's making a B-25 bomber, I don't know what she was doing before the war started, but she probably wasn't working in a factory like this. She might have been at home, or she might have been working as a clerk, or at that time as a teacher. Not a lot of opportunities were open to women before then. But during the war effort, women were shifted in large numbers into the workforce. During the pandemic in 2020, we had shortages of personal protective equipment. So some firms shifted resources from producing cars to producing ventilators. Others shifted from producing vacuum filters to face masks, like the one I'm wearing below. One of my former students worked in a lab that was researching AIDS. Her lab was switched over to researching the coronavirus. There's only so many resources, and we want to put them to one use. We have to take them away from another use. Again, it's not the goods and services that are scarce, although they might be in short supply at any given time. It's the resources that are used to produce them that are scarce. Every time we use a resource for one purpose, we can't use it for a different purpose. Here's a question from the AP test. Pause the video and see if you can answer. The correct answer, yes, is that we have to decide how to make the best use of limited resources to satisfy our unlimited wants. Scarcity is the fundamental problem of economics, and you're going to be hearing a lot about it in this series of videos. If we had enough resources to make everything we want, we wouldn't have to deal with scarcity. We wouldn't have to make choices, and we wouldn't have to consider costs. But we don't, and that's economics. Thank you for watching.